Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And actually this video here is not going to be a gaming video or a vlog or anything. It's actually going to be talking about the 2016-2017 NFL season that's coming up. I believe it's this Thursday, or it is this Thursday coming up. And like I've said in some of my other videos, the NFL or football is my favorite sport. I've been watching it for, well, since I can remember, basically since I started playing football. I've been watching it and I've been following it a lot, and it's the sport which I know the most of. But in this video here, I just kind of want to predict or say in my own opinion where I can see teams finishing in their conferences. So we have the AFC here, so you have the AFC East, North, South, and West teams. So I'm going to go each one here, and if you guys do enjoy this video, then please leave a like. And also comment down below if you guys have an opinion on the season and what you think is going to happen. And I just want to talk about it, just want to predict and kind of give him my little points that I have for each team. But other than that, let's get into it. And if, like I said, if you guys want to keep your own opinion or want to say your own opinion about the NFL, if you follow it, leave it down in the comments below. And you never know, maybe we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it if you do leave a comment. But let's get on here, and we have the AFC East team. So we have the Bills, the New York Jets, the New England Patriots, and the Miami Dolphins. So the Buffalo Bills I can actually see finishing second in their division here, and the team that I could see first is the New England Patriots. The reason I could see the New England Patriots first is because even though Tom Brady is suspended for the first 4 games of the season, I can still see them racking up enough points to be able to get by, because their defense is a strong defense. I believe their defense can hold them off the first 4 weeks, and then once Tom Brady goes back, him, Gronkowski, Amendola, all of those guys will come together, and they'll just be like the New England Patriots that have been for the past over a decade, where they just non-stop been amazing. So second I said would be the Buffalo Bills, and the reason is that they have a good team. It looks like Rex Ryan's kind of knowing what he's doing and putting the team together. They've signed a few good guys. They have LaShawn McCoy. They have Tyrod Taylor, who's shown he's a proven starter quarterback for this league. He did well last season. He went to the Pro Bowl. He did very well. So it's very good to see that. And their defense is pretty good, but I believe that might be the little downfall of falling out of second place in their division. Now, the next team that I could see becoming there, and maybe even tying Buffalo with becoming second, or jumping Buffalo becoming second, is the New York Jets. Now, they have had some good signings this summer. They've signed Matt Forte. They've signed some defensive players. They still have the good defense, like solid defense that they had last year. They re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, so that'll be a nice quarterback to have. I believe they could have done better in the free agency with a quarterback or something, or even in the draft. But whatever, they signed Fitzpatrick back, so it'll be actually very nice to see him back and see what they can do, especially with Forte there. He's a good receiving running back, so if the running game's not strong, they could definitely toss it to him, and he'll be able to have an impact like that. Now, the fourth team that I can see, the fourth team here, the Miami Dolphins, I can see becoming last, just because they did switch running backs with Houston Texans. They got Arian Foster, but they gave away Lamar Miller. Now, the thing is, Arian Foster is a great quarterback, but he just cannot stay healthy, or running back, not a quarterback, but he just cannot stay healthy. It's impossible for him to stay healthy. I believe it's the past 3 or 4 seasons he hasn't been able to play more than like half of the games in the season, which is sad, because once he gets going, he's a very, very good quarterback, or running back. I don't want to keep saying quarterback. Very good running back, but I can't see him do it. Ryan Tannehill's there. They have Landry. They have a good offense. They have a decent defense. But I just feel like, if anything, then they'll maybe stay third with like the Bills and Jets. It'll be a close division, but it'll be New England on top, I think, for sure. Now, the second division we have here is the AFC North team. So we have the Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Cincinnati Bengals. Now, for this division here, it's actually, for me, I think it's a pretty easy one to tell. I think it's going to be Pittsburgh, then Cincinnati, then Baltimore, then Cleveland. Now, the reasons for this is because Pittsburgh have the best offensive trio, I think, in the league, with Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. If Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown and Roethlisberger, if they can stay healthy, that offense is a scary offense to go against. I don't care what defense you are. I don't care if you have the Patriots. I don't care if you have the Broncos defense. I don't care what defense you have. That is a very scary offense to go around. You could toss it up to a guy like Antonio Brown anytime, and he's catching that balls 9 times out of 10. He's a guaranteed probably over 100 receiving yards a game, basically. And then there's Le'Veon Bell, which Le'Veon Bell, the unfortunate with him is he hasn't been able to stay healthy probably as much as he would like to, as much as the Steelers would like to. He's had unfortunate with injuries, but it's amazing to see him run with the ball when he is healthy. He's the top running back in the league, personally, I think to myself, that he is the top running back in the league. And then there's also Roethlisberger. With Roethlisberger, I think season after season since he's entered the league, he's proven that guy he's a tank. He's impossible to take down. The guy's like 6'5" and like 260. He may look fat, and I can joke with my buddy there who's a Steelers fan that he may be fat, he may be like had some trouble in with the law or anything. That's not a for sure thing or anything, I'm just saying, but that guy can keep up. It's impossible to take him down, or it seems like it's impossible to take him down. And the guy, for a 36 or 37, maybe, I may be up there in age, but for a guy who's up in his 30s, he could still run from a play action and hit a receiver like right on point. It's crazy to see a guy like him do that. But the next team we have here is the Cincinnati Bengals. Now the Cincinnati Bengals, they actually were really good last year. They got fortunate, I think, in the playoffs. Their linebacker should have been never should have played again with the hit he had on Antonio Brown there in the playoffs. But Andy Dalton finally got his first playoff win after 5 years of trying it. They always made it to the playoffs. They made it every playoffs that Andy Dalton has started for them since he got drafted, but they just couldn't win. But last year they got the win, and it was a close game, but I can see them coming second. They have a good defense, they have a good offense, but really nothing special. Now the next team I could see here is the Baltimore Ravens. Now the thing with the Baltimore Ravens is Joe Flacco, I believe, got injured last year, really on the season for a little, and also Steve Smith got injured. Now Steve Smith is a very, very good receiver, a guy who's like 37, 38 years old, and can still run like that, can still catch a ball like that, and still compete with the best cornerbacks and safeties in the league. That's very impressive, but I don't know, just there's something about them. They don't have the defense like they used to when they used to have Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs in his prime, like everything. They don't have that good defense, but it's going to be interesting to see them, but I think they're going to finish third. And then the Cleveland Browns are probably the most disappointing team in the NFL this year. Now, I'm sorry for any Cleveland Brown fans, but you guys even know. You guys gone through quarterbacks where you've drafted a first round pick who's like 30 years old already. You drafted Johnny Manziel, who had a lot of promise, but ended up just shooting himself in the foot and shooting his whole career down the drain. Like I don't know, he's a problem in himself, but it just doesn't seem like they did. They've traded players away. Their draft wasn't the best draft they could have, and they've traded some of their best players away, and it just doesn't seem. I think they'll be the worst team in the NFL. I can see them maybe winning 3, 4, 5 games max, I think, this year, but it'll be interesting to see them. But anyways, let's move on to the next division. Now the next division we have here is the AFC South team. So we have the Tennessee Titans, Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, and Houston Texans. Now this division actually is pretty tough for me, but I'm going to say the Indianapolis Colts are going to be coming on top, and that's the reason is because I want to see how Andrew Luck performs after his huge deal. He, I believe, is the highest or second or third highest paid player in the league, and to me, he's good. He's a very good quarterback, but I don't think he deserves that. He's getting paid, I believe, higher than Aaron Rodgers. He's getting paid higher than Russell Wilson. Like, it's ridiculous how much he's getting paid for. He's a great quarterback. He's been good in his 4 or 5 years since entering the league, unlike RG3, but he's been good. But I don't know. I really want to see how he performs and if he cracks under the pressure of that huge deal that he has. Now, second place here I can see would be the Houston Texans. Now, it's probably the obvious first choice. This is tough because I was thinking between Houston and Jacksonville. Now, I'll get to Jacksonville in a second, but the Houston Texans are actually a really good team. Like I said, they got the better, I think, out of the little swap with the Miami Dolphins. They got Lamar Miller. He's a lot younger. He stays healthier. He's more explosive off the line. He's a very good running back overall. And then they also have the young receiver in DeAndre Hopkins, which that guy is ridiculous. I think he's probably up there with definitely Antonio Brown and like the Demaryius Thomases for wide receivers. He's up there. The guy can catch basically anything. He's up there with Julio Jones as well. But he's up there, and it is ridiculous on what that guy can do. I don't think he can drop a ball even if he tried. Also, they did sign the quarterback there from the Denver Broncos, which I can't remember his name right now. He took over for Manning last year when Manning wasn't doing too well, and then he got pulled in the playoff game for Manning, but I can't remember his name right now. Brock Osweiler, that's what it is. But I want to see how he does on having a team for himself. He's not behind Manning. He's not just as a backup. He has his own team. He has the team that can run. He can run himself, and I really want to see how he does. And their defense obviously is very good, especially with their key player and the best defensive player in the league, probably by a landslide, J.J. Watt. So it'll be interesting to see how they do as well. And then the team that I could see becoming third, like I said before, was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the only reason I could see them coming third over Tennessee is because I believe Tennessee is still a young team that needs to adapt. They still got a lot of young players. They're very promising, but they're going to adapt. So for me, I think it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars because last year, I know they only won about 5 games. But last year, they were very promising with a quarterback like Blaine Gabbert. No. Maybe. Damn it, this is bad. Anyways, I can't remember the quarterback, but he is very good, the quarterback. They have Allen Robinson, who came out just explosive last year, was ridiculous. I believe he was about 3rd and 4th in receiving last year, so it's a very good team to watch. Very exciting. Their defense is good. They have Polovsky. He's the linebacker. He's been on their team for a long time. He's been through fucking shit with them. He's been through the good times, bad times, just everything with them. He'll be really interesting to see, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars are just going to come up on top in 3rd place. And then there's the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans, like I said, they're a very young team. They have Mariota. They did sign DeMarco Murray. I really want to see how he does because the Titans do have a decent offensive line. So I want to see how he does because ever since that explosive year in the Cowboys about 2 years ago, and then he got signed for the Eagles, which he did basically shit all. He did well, but just not what he did when he was on the Cowboys there. And you can also say that the reason he had a good season was because the Cowboys' offensive line is ridiculous. But yeah, anyways, the Tennessee Titans are very young. They have a lot of good players. They have guys like, they have Mariota, they have DeMarco Murray, they have a few of the receivers. I can't remember their names right now. But they have a very good team overall. Defense, I'm not too sure, though. I don't think they really signed anyone. I might be wrong. They might have signed somebody, but I can't remember it on the top of that head. But it's going to be interesting to see how they do. And then there is the last division, and this is the division where my favorite team, the Oakland Raiders, are in. Now, this is a very interesting one to me. So we have the Denver Broncos, San Diego Chargers, Oakland Raiders, and Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is actually my own opinion. This isn't like just because it's my favorite team and my favorite team's in the division, I think they're going to do well. This is my honest opinion of how I think this division is going to work out. So first, I could see the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have the most well-rounded team in this division and possibly even this conference, I can say. Along with maybe the Cincinnati Bengals or Steelers, or even Patriots once Brady comes back. But in this division, they for sure have the most balanced team. They have a great offense. The only thing that's lacking for them in offense is really the receivers. They have Jeremy Maclin, but they don't really have a good second or third choice for receiver there. But they have Alex Smith, who's been playing out of his skin since he's been traded, or whatever happened in that, when he got traded there from San Francisco after their Super Bowl run. They have Jamal Charles and he's one of those guys that if he stays healthy, he's up there with Le'Veon Bell. There's Le'Veon Bell, there's Jamal Charles, there's Lamar Miller. There's a bunch of running backs, but I think Jamal Charles could be the only guy that could challenge Le'Veon Bell with be considering the best running back in the league. But the only thing is he cannot stay healthy. It's crazy what happens, but he just can't stay healthy. And it's sad because you have such an elusive guy who can juke past guys, spin past guys. And once his head goes down, if you guys ever watch like videos or highlight reels on him, once that guy's head goes down, there's no catching him. His head goes down and he's just gone for the races, and he's not stopping until he's in that end zone and nobody's catching him. But I could see them becoming first. Their defense is also good. They have guys. They have Lamar Houston there. He's pretty good, and they have a bunch of. They have a few defensive linemen that are pretty good. Their safeties, cornerbacks, all balanced, and that'll be an interesting team to watch. And then second place is going to be my favorite team, the Oakland Raiders. Now, the Oakland Raiders, to me, have the best young team. because they have a young team that's already proven themselves. Tennessee has a young team that there's some players that have, some players that haven't, but they're not fully there. Last year, I believe we went 8-8 or 7-9. I can't remember exactly, but the Oakland Raiders have a lot of young guys. They have Derek Carr, quarterback. He's a great guy. He has great throwing power. His accuracy's there as well. And then we have Amari Cooper, Latavius Murray. Those guys are doing very well for us on the offensive part of the team. Now we have Amari Cooper, which came out explosive in his rookie year last year. I was so happy to pick him up in fantasy. He did very well for us, especially for a rookie, and we haven't seen that in at Oakland in a long time where rookies really perform for us. Then we have Latavius Murray, where he might not be up there in the top 10 or top 15 running backs in the league, but he's there. He does what he can. He gives us those yards that we need when we need to run the ball. He can catch out of the backfield. He's a very good player overall, but it'll be interesting to see. And then on defense, we have a bunch of guys. We've signed a safety, I believe, from Cincinnati. He was one of the best safeties. I cannot remember his name. We have Khalil Mack, which I think is the best defensive player in the league, other than J.J. Watt and maybe a few others, but he is the best young defensive player in the league, I think. He showed last year that he can go anywhere on the field, and he's going to make an impact. He was playing D-end, he was playing outside linebacker, he was playing inside linebacker. I've seen him a couple games play D-tackle. No matter what his size was, he was getting through, and it was crazy. But I think we're going to go over 500 this year, which I think is going to be the first year we go over 500 in probably about maybe even 5-6 years, because I think the best record I've seen the Raiders have was 8-8, and that was back in 2011 or 2012. I can't remember exactly, but I think we're going to go over 500 and ultimately push for maybe a wild card spot, and I'd be so excited if we can get a wild card spot. Now, third place here, I think, is going to be the Denver Broncos. Their offense is scaring me. I don't know their starting quarterback. I don't even remember his name. I'm not sure if he's a rookie. I'm not sure he's been a few years in the league. I just can't remember his name, but I don't know, their offense, they have the same offense. They have Demaryius Thomas. They have Emmanuel Sanders. They have a good receiving core, but I don't know if that quarterback is going to be able to just be able to perform under pressure. It's going to be very interesting to see, but I know that their defense is ridiculous. They're right up there. I think they got the best defense in the league with players like Von Miller, their cornerbacks, their safeties, everything like that. They're a very good team. They have Derek Wolfe. They have just a great defense, and it's going to be good. And that's why I think it's going to win them games early on in the season is their defense. The defense is going to come up big, be able to perform, and even when their offense is in a slump or can't score points, I know their defense is going to be right there and be able to go in. But I don't know, their offense is going to be sketchy, but I think also after about halfway through the season, even before halfway through the season, if that defense is the only reason they're winning games, then their defense is going to get tired very quickly, and we're going to see a big change probably in the second half of this season on how their defense is still performing, but without any offense, it's going to be weird to see them. And then fourth place here is going to be the San Diego Chargers. Now, the San Diego Chargers last year were very disappointing. They went 4-12, I believe, or 5-11. I'm not exactly sure. But they had the third overall pick, and they picked Joey Bosa, who's a good defensive end from Ohio State, which is my favorite college. But went to Ohio State there, but they just couldn't sign him. I don't know what the hell the deal was. I think the Chargers gave him all he wanted, or all that they could really, and he was just being a complete ass about it. But that's my own opinion on it. I don't know. You guys could have yours if you want, if you know what's going on with that situation. But they finally signed him, so he'll be a nice addition on defense. But I don't know. They just underperformed yesterday a lot, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do. They're gonna be able to. Their offense is good. They have Rivers. They have running back, which I think is T.J. Yeldon. I can't remember exactly, but I think it's T.J. Yeldon's on the running back there. Which he had an alright season last year, but I believe he got injured and he just kept fumbling the ball, and he was just not a good start for his rookie year last year. I don't know if it's T.J. Yeldon exactly. I'm probably messing it up big time. I can picture him in my head. I just can't think of his name like right on. The defense, again, they have Joey Bosa. They have Eric Berry, I believe, from the Chiefs that they signed last year. I think it's Eric Berry, maybe somebody else. I can't remember, but he was on the Chiefs last year. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do. But I can see them coming last in our division. But yeah, that's going to be the American Football Conference, or the AFC. That's my predictions for each division there. So if you want to see me do one on the NFC here, which is the other conference, obviously, and let me know by leaving a like on the video, comment on the video, and let me know what you think about the 2016-2017 NFL season. I think it'll be very interesting. I can't wait for it to come back Thursday with Carolina and Denver Broncos. Also, leave your comments on what you think is going to be the prediction for that game coming up for the Carolina and Denver. Send me in your predictions if you want, but let me know if you enjoyed this little video. I'm sorry it's not a gaming one, but I really want to do this because I'm so excited for the NFL to be back. But let me know by leaving a like, comment, subscribing, all that nice stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye.